Welcome. My name is Beth and I'm the Wellness Manager at Harper College. And today I have a wonderful individual with me today, Mia, and Mia will introduce herself in just a second. But today we are talking about intuitive eating and some body diversity, which we will have a workshop coming up where Mia will be leading us through an intuitive eating workshop. So just want to plug that for a moment. And without further ado, Mia, introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Beth. My name is Mia Greco. I am an adjunct faculty member here at Harper. And then, like Beth said, I also specialize in intuitive eating, and we'll be bringing that workshop to you in October. So my background, primarily, I have a master's of nutrition and wellness from Benedictine University, in addition to a master's of public health. I teach here at the college a basic nutrition 101 class, and then I also am a clinical supervisor for the upcoming dietetic internship that we are developing here at Harper. So that's a plug for our program also, which starts in fall 2021. But how I am a dietitian, so ultimately when I went to school, I was looking, how to be healthy and well with nutrition and medical nutrition therapy. And as I went through my career, I discovered something called intuitive eating. It's probably one of the most freeing concepts, and it's been around for a long time, since the 1990s, actually. And I didn't fully become passionate about it until this past year. So it's not something all dietitians are taught in school, but it's something that I will be teaching my students. It's a great way to find food freedom. So that's my passion right now, is intuitive eating, and I am very thankful and grateful to Beth for allowing me to talk about it.
Thank you. And I am also passionate about intuitive eating. So when I first met you, I felt like our worlds just smacked together, and I was like, yes, I need to know more about Mia. So thank you. First of all, for those who might not know what intuitive eating is, what the heck is intuitive eating and why is it important as it relates to nutrition?
Great. So intuitive eating was developed by two dietitians, again, back in the 90s, Evelyn Tribold and Elise Reich. So they wanted a way for their clients to get away from diet culture. So they developed these principles. And again, we'll go through all the principles in the workshop, but it's just a way for you to honor your hunger, to honor your satiety, to get in tune with your body and not restrict yourself. So it means encompassing all foods. So when we're talking about a lot of the common diets now, we have keto, we have, Atkins back in the day, we have intermittent fasting. It's a rejection of all of those diet mentalities. It's getting back to knowing yourself and exactly what foods that you want, and using a gentle approach to nutrition. So intuitive eating isn't saying, hey, let's eat everything under the sun whenever we want. It's actually listening and being in tune and not having shame or guilt around the food choices that you make. So if in the morning you really feel like a bagel with cream cheese, you can have a bagel with cream cheese. And a lot of our diet rules say that you're not allowed to have those types of food. So it's enjoying food for not only nourishing your body, but for the comfort and the social aspect. And it's about eating pizza to celebrate, or having the mimosa at brunch without guilt or shame.
Thank you. And
yeah.
Thinking about that, I know, at least in my own experiences, that there can be obviously a lot of guilt and shame surrounding food, but also, thinking back on my college experience, just so many diets out there. And as a college athlete, I remember being obsessed about food and just being hungry. But, then if I had known what I know now, I would have just said, eat, but I think there are so many different influences, whether it be through social media or how I think especially women are even conditioned, and also men as well, as in terms of what we should be eating, what is good and what's bad. So that leads into my next question is, it can be easy to be influenced by social media, as there's so many influencers out there who are promoting the perfect diet plan, perfect workout to get abs or how to get the perfect body. So why is diet culture harmful, and why should we care about body diversity and things like intuitive eating?
Absolutely. This is something that I'm very passionate about as far as body diversity. We don't expect all people to be the same height. We don't expect all people to have the same eye color, hair color. So there is diversity in our bodies as well. Some people are thin, some people have more muscle tone, some people store fat more easily, which actually used to be a great survival trait. So in famine or whatever, those people who genetically were predisposed to store fat in certain places survived. So when we have all these influences coming at us and we look at that influencer, we don't know what their genetics are. Are they naturally a thin person? Do they potentially have an eating disorder? Are they sick? We see their body and we think that if we eat exactly the way they eat, exercise as much and as hard and exactly the way they do, we will have the six-pack abs that they do. And some people will never have six-pack abs. You could eat exactly what that fitness influencer eats and you will never have that body shape. And that's okay. We're not all meant to look alike and look the same. So it's very hard to unlearn that diet culture, and it's something that you have to work for every day. And it's even difficult for me. I am thin privileged. I'm average weight, height, and everything, but you always look and you see those bikini pictures and you want to look that way. And I remember initially, and I'm going to be very honest, I wanted to be a dietitian so I could have one of those thin bodies. And now as I realize how important it is to nourish your body and love your body for what it is, it takes you on a whole different path and you actually enjoy your life. Instead of looking at your fitness tracker to make sure that you've got enough steps or that your heart rate's high enough or that you've consumed the required amount of calories, which a lot of these diets say 1,200 calories, which isn't enough even for a toddler to consume. So we have to understand that everybody is different. Every individual is different. Our genetics are different. So regardless of what you do or what perfect diet plan or perfect workout regimen that you're going to follow, it's not going to be the same for everyone. And 95% of diets fail. So that means you go on your keto diet, you lose 20 pounds, you stop that, it's not sustainable. Who can do that forever? Then what happens? You gain 30 pounds. And evidence is showing that that weight cycling of trying to be smaller than our genetic set point is more damaging than staying at a consistent weight that may be what we call overweight, but we could go into BMI too, that's not accurate also. So it's very, diet culture it's sneaky, it's a liar, it steals your life, and it's not worth it. Gentle nutrition, eating foods that you love, moving your body in ways that you love, is definitely the way to go. Your mental health will thank you for it for sure. So diet culture is awful.
Which I think is so important. And I think it's probably a concept that some of us are not familiar with. So it might seem controversial, but in reality it shouldn't be, because, all bodies are different, right? And I think about my own life and being a wellness manager at Harper. I think the question that I get often asked is, how do I get abs? Like, how do I get muscles? And for me, yes, I am someone who exercises. I enjoy it. I find movements that I like. I generally try to eat healthy, but I also, I love donuts. I love sweets too. And so I think I always push back on that, is because, my body is very different than someone else's. So even if we work out the same amount of minutes and we eat the same, I can't tell you what your body is going to look like, because genetics, right? I was a small kid growing up. So I think, that has a lot to do with it. And I think we have to reframe our brain almost of like what that looks like. And so I think what you're saying might be a wild concept to a lot of people, but
Yes.
You said it exactly right. Is like, we have different eye colors, we have different hair colors, and we're all different.
And people have to ask themselves the question, are you truly, people think I will not be happy until I'm a certain size or I'm a certain weight on the scale. Will you truly be happy once you get to that size? Because I know for myself, I got down to certain sizes in college and certain sizes before my wedding. Was I happier when I was sitting there micromanaging every last calorie that I ate, skipping out on social events, or knowing that I was going to go out for alcohol in college and go drink, and saving up my calories for alcohol and then getting really sick? And it's dangerous at times, you know, for things like that. So regardless of what society tells you, will you truly be happy at that smaller size? And the answer is usually no. It will not make you happier.
And
It'll make you struggle.
right. Yeah. And thinking about that, what are the top 3 things you want people to know about diet culture, intuitive eating, or body diversity?
Sure. So the top thing, and I'll touch on this in my workshop, is forget diet culture. Diet culture is a liar. I actually have a stronger word that I like to use for diet culture. It makes us small. It keeps us small. In particular, women, you're so focused on what you're eating and making yourself small that you can't do the big things that you're destined to do because you're so focused on shrinking your body. Another great thing is, and it's my mantra in my head, find peace with food freedom. So just finding that peace in yourself where you're not constantly worried and anxious about what you're going to eat. Is there going to be food for me at that party because I'm on a keto diet? Can I not wake up in the morning and have cream with my coffee because I'm doing intermittent fasting? Find peace. You will find peace with food freedom. When you stop restricting, you're going to stop craving, binging, and obsessing about it. And another thing, as far as body diversity, all bodies are good bodies. Focus on the things that your body can do, how strong your legs are, not how that you don't have a thigh gap. Focus on that you can run, jump, dance with your kids. And you do not have to be thin to be worthy. Your body does not make up who you are. When you're 80 years old, or at your funeral, which is kind of morbid, no one's going to say, hey, they had 6-pack abs. They're going to say, she was wonderful. She was kind. She was thoughtful. She was fun. She liked to have pizza. You know,
right.
No one's going to think about 6-pack abs or how strong or thin someone was at the end of their days. So all bodies are good bodies. You don't have to be thin to be worthy. Forget diet culture and find peace with food freedom.
Yes. And thank you for saying that, because I'm also a victim sometimes, you know, looking at social media and you don't know what's photoshopped. You don't know, you know, what all is happening just based on a photo. And I think we try and sell things quickly, and we think that you can achieve something very quickly or in a short amount of time. And in reality, it's not easy, but also, you know, you don't see the full picture a lot of times, especially as it relates to social media or Instagram and so forth. So I think focusing on you and what's going to make you most successful rather than sort of what others look like or do or eat.
Absolutely. We have to understand that the wellness industry is also a money-making industry. So people who are trying to sell you weight loss fast or 6-pack abs or any of those multi-level marketing type nutrition programs, they're counting on you to fail, to be honest with you. They're counting on you to fail so that they can have you as a lifelong customer.
Yes.
So.
And to go along with your last couple of points there, what are 2 things we should stop saying to ourselves as it relates to eating?
Yes. So stop earning your food. So a lot of people have this mentality that in order to eat the ice cream or they have to skip something else, or they have to do an extra workout. If you ate all day over the weekend, you still need to eat on Monday. You still need to eat. You don't have to restrict your food because you overate or whatever. You have to give yourself forgiveness. So you don't have to work out. You don't have to skip meals to save up for calories or meals or another night out. Another thing, stop giving food morality. So we see the good food, bad food, healthy food, clean food language. Food is food. So food is nourishing, comforting, life-giving, and that's all food. We should be very grateful for the access to the food that we have. So stop making it immoral. You're not an immoral person because you eat a donut. You're not a dirty person because you eat a donut. So quit saying that food is clean or good or bad. It's just all food is good.
Yes, that's what I want to
Right.
say, which is so good. It is something that we often don't hear enough, right?
Mhm.
Um, so last question for you today
Yes.
is, how can folks learn a little bit more about intuitive eating if they want to know more, but also about having a healthier relationship with food and their body?
Absolutely. So that's an easy question. We already talked about our intuitive eating workshop, which will begin on October 22nd. It's going to be a 4-week series, and each session will kind of build on itself. It will go over the concepts of intuitive eating, including utilizing a workbook to go through that, because it's hard to unlearn these behaviors. And it is work to actually find peace in food freedom. So that workshop will be great, and we'll talk about why diet culture is bad, and it'll talk about food freedom, body diversity, and body positivity. Also, you can Instagram, social media can be good for some things. Some of those influencers you might want to delete off your Instagram feeds, but there's some great ones to follow, including myself at Mia Greco RD. And then you can find a range of different influencers on Instagram if you look up intuitive eating, body positivity. And I will be discussing some great influencers to follow on Instagram in the workshop as well. And then for me, what sealed the deal, if you'd like to read The Anti-Diet by dietitian Christy Harrison, is what ignited my passion for abolishing diet culture. It's a great read, full of resources. She cites all of the evidence, great articles, fantastic. I cannot recommend that book enough. So that's a great jumping off point. And then again, that intuitive eating workbook, which you'll receive with the workshop. So those are two great resources for intuitive eating and anti-diet culture.
Awesome. Thank you, Mia. And we could talk
My pleasure.
hours about this
Yes.
topic, but I just wanted to give folks a sprinkle of what intuitive eating is and maybe some of the things they can look forward to if they want to join that workshop series. So thank you. I'm always learning so much from you, and I appreciate your wonderful energy. So I'm excited for the workshop.
Yeah, me too. My pleasure. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.